Well, we'll talk about harvesting a short bean crop because, again, most of the beans that I've been looking at out in the field have been shorter plants for the most part. We're going to have a lot of trouble. Header height is going to be real important this year, getting that head down on the ground, making sure those shorter beans get into the head. With the price of beans where they're at, we're going to want to get as many as we can harvested. The overall shortness of the corn crop as well, the overall plant height has been shorter this year because of the drought. Therefore, we've eared a little bit lower. We need to make sure we're running our corn head as low to the ground as possible because ultimately we want to get as much grain harvested as possible. It's important that we get the grain harvested to not only have lack of management practices next year with volunteer corn, if we leave corn out in the field for our next year's crop, but also with the price of the commodity, we need to make sure we get it harvested as well. You're going to want to get as much crop out of the field as possible, as timely as possible too. We could be looking at stalk strength problems on the corn, managing aflatoxin if it comes to fruition. Aflatoxin sounds like it's going to grow best at around 18% corn, so possibly harvesting that corn at a little bit wetter stage might be important to reduce the risk of aflatoxin. Once we get that corn harvested, get it in a drying bin, get it dried down to 15% or under to make sure we limit that aflatoxin growth in the bin if it does happen. Again, your corn's going to keep better as well if you have it under 15% in your bin. So keep that in mind. Keep in mind as well on the soybean side that if we've got pods in the bin that we store in, make sure we manage that appropriately as well, get the air on it when needed this fall, and keep cooling the crop too as our temperatures drop through the winter time. So all key things to keep in mind.
Is there a silver bullet this year? You know, with this drought, there seems to be a lot of variables, a lot of different ways in terms of, you know, a guy filing a claim, harvesting a crop, the time frame for all those things. What is there any kind of cure-all this year? Or is it just too much of a mixed bag for a guy to do something like that?
There's going to be a whole lot of variables out there. Just because your neighbor's doing something doesn't mean you need to be doing it as well, because he could have a lot different plant date than you. Again, he could have different moisture level than you. There's not going to be one sweeping answer that answers all of these questions as far as a drought-stricken crop. The most important thing, if you have questions about what do I do with this crop, is that you get your ag professionals involved helping you out. They're going to be more than willing to help you out managing this crop and managing how to get it out of the field and into storage safely. So again, there's not going to be one silver bullet, you might say, answer to help manage this crop that we're going to be harvesting this fall.